Did the Maesters use dragon glass candles to make Ares II go mad? Let's investigate this. My name is Johnny Wild, and this episode is a viewer submission requested by Jack Smith 1905. Thank you, Jack Smith, and welcome, everyone. What are dragon glass candles and their functions? Glass candles are candles made of obsidian and lit by no normal means, which creates a light not normal, which can be brilliant and unsettling. It is reported that, in recent memory, they have not burned due to magic not existing in the world. They have been used since before the destruction of old Valyria hundreds of years ago, used as communication devices through mediums like entering dreams, communicating with other glass candles, and used to observe faraway places. The Citadel of Maesters owned 4 of the known surviving candles, with black ones used for the initiation vigil and a green one kept in Archmaester Marwyn's, who is the Archmaester of Magic's, study. When Sam had a meeting with Marwyn, he observed it was lit. A stark contrast to the initiation vigil with the black candle, which all new Maesters must observe for 24 hours in a dark room to prove there are knowledge above academic knowledge. Can glass candles be used to make someone go mad? Well, let's start off with who the King's Landing Maester was at the time. So, who was he? Grandmaster Pycelle, of course, who watched King Ares II descend steadily into madness. And despite his Maester vows, he collected, studied, and used various poisons. This is known, as it was also how Joffrey died. There are plants in our world, like the ibogaine, derived from the Tabernanthe iboga plant, that causes walking dreams and profound retrospection. However, I believe something else was used. Something like our world's LSD, derived from a plant that mirrors morning glories. The only known poison I can find that can do this is Shade of the Evening. But Ares II had no blue lips, the telltale signs of its use. However, this could be circumvented by another ingestion method for higher potency, like in food, with microdosing in wine. And we know during the later years of his reign, he was a heavy drinker. So microdosing the wine is possible, as it would stop the lips turning blue quickly. We know Shade of the Evening delivers walking dreams and hallucinations, and long-term use can cause mental instability and paranoia. However, to microdose without the lips turning blue would require decades to get the desired results, and Pycelle was there for 40 years after the suggestion from Aegon V in 259 AC. Meaning, this could have been planned. And remember, before King Robert, Aegon V lived until 59 years old, dying at the Summerhall Blaze. And King Jaehaerys II died at 37 of a short illness, which isn't unusual, but odd when you add Pycelle to the mix. Now that we've identified a suspect and possible poison to open the mind to waking dreams and paranoia, among other things, we now have to ask, could the glass candles be used to make Ares II go mad to dismantle the Targaryen dynasty? And to answer that further, you have to look at the power source of the candles. Sorcery and dragons, fire and blood. Because we need to know if they can use the candles while dragons don't exist. There have been no living dragons for more than a century before Daenerys hatched hers. We know this because when Daenerys' dragons hatched, magic awoke in the world once more, with the candles flickering to life upon their hatching. However, it could be possible for a Maester or a substitute who are gifted with high-level sorcery potential to offer their blood as a sacrifice to activate the candle's magic in place of dragons. This requires a lot of magical aptitude and training to accomplish without a single living dragon. And this could be the purpose of the glass candle ritual Maesters attempt on their initiation. The goal wouldn't be to get the person to spend 24 hours in the dark to admit magic is knowledge beyond academic knowledge, but to find gifted sorcerers within the new Maesters who could be trained in secret to operate the candles. I assume if there was an attempt to touch the candle, they'll be cut, and anyone with great magical potential would light the room. And perhaps Marwyn would tell them to say nothing and to see him before the candle was snuffed out. But that's something to look into for another time. In a walking dream state, King Ares II would be exposed to the dream-walking abilities of the candles, with him hearing voices of Maesters from the Citadel, and between psychic attacks and decades of microdosing drugs, he would have gone stark raving mad. Far beyond sticking a pair of undies on his head, 2 pencils up his nose, and saying "Wibble." This may reveal a conspiracy from the Maesters to have Westeros turn on the Targaryens. Other potential ways Ares II may have gone mad. There is another possibility. Bloodraven, or another Greenseer with the ability to contact people remotely, may have sent him mad. Powerful Greenseers are meant to view the past via weirwood trees, like watching an on-demand service. But Branseekers have the potential to speak to the past. In A Dance with Dragons, Bran walks into the weirwood tree and whispers, "Dad, it's me." Ned stops because he perceived a whisper in the wind from Bran. Not hearing Bran directly, because Bloodraven said, anyone in the past just hears your voice as a whisper in the wind. So this method could be used to create whispers. But perhaps this wasn't malevolent, and someone was trying to warn Ares II about a conspiracy. But they were fated to make him mad or help him go mad. Conclusion. Would the glass candles have made King Ares II mad as a hatter to dismantle the Targaryen dynasty? Yes, it is indeed possible. Between Pycelle poisoning with the drug-like shade of the evening, and Marwyn using his candle, through gifted blood in place of dragons, to create a walking dream of voices and hallucinations. Over the decades, it would have slowly and controllably gone mad. That's without adding Greenseer whispering into the past. I once again would like to thank Jack Smith 1905 for his submission. I hope the video was to your liking, good sir, as it's the liking of all those who watched. Check out my other A Song of Ice and Fire theory videos. The link to that playlist will be at the end. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. So sorry for that playlist, and cheerio for now.